What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me right here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we'd love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now, I'm going to give you guys my review of Season 1 of the Disney Plus original series Big Shot, starring John Stamos. So instead of doing a weekly review of this series, I just kind of waited till they were wrapped up. I have been watching it the whole time. I've been watching it every week. But with the Mighty Ducks, where I kind of did a week-to-week thing, I just kind of waited till this season was over to kind of discuss it as a whole. And honestly, when Mighty Ducks 2 comes out, Season 2, if it comes out, I'm probably going to do the same thing with it. Just because it got a little tedious talking about the Mighty Ducks week after week, and it would have gotten tedious talking about Big Shot week after week also. But so Big Shot is about John Stamos, Coach Corn, and he is a NCAA Division I college coach who's a big shot, a well-known coach in the country, and he gets in trouble. He has a temper tantrum. He throws a chair at a ref, and he ends up losing his job. Fast forward to a private girls' school, private girls' high school, not college, a private girls' high school. They swoop in and they offer him a job, and he takes it because he needs a coaching gig. So he takes a high school basketball girls coaching job. He has a lot of preconceived notion about what basketball is and how to run a basketball team, especially how to run a basketball team, a Division I boys basketball team. Now, take it from me. I coach high school sports. I coach high school boys track and I coach high school girls track. I cannot take the same approach with my high school girls team as I do with my high school boys team. You just can't do it. They are two separate. Men and women are wired differently. They just are. And usually the boys can be harder to coach than the girls. Not always. But yeah. And by the way, I love them all. I love all my athletes. Adore them. There's a special place in my heart for my athletes. One day I'll talk about how I turned down a job offer in Indianapolis. Or sorry, not in Indianapolis. One day, how I turned down a job offer in South Bend, Indiana, that made a lot more money to stay with my kids. I'll tell that story one day. Now's not the time, but I adore my track team and my cross country team. They are extensions of my family. They just are. But sometimes the boys can be a little bit harder to coach than the girls. Sometimes the girls can be a little bit harder to coach than the boys. But the point is, I don't coach them the same. And he has to learn real quick that you can't coach a high school girls team the same way you coach a college boys team. There's differences. There's differences in how you approach them. There's differences in how you gain their trust. There's differences in how you develop the relationships. There's just differences. And that was my favorite part of this show, is seeing the evolution of Coach Corn. How he kind of shifted from being this big shot college coach to be more of a coach. I always say that when you're a coach, you're teaching the sport and you're teaching them how to do the sport well. But a big part of being a coach is being a psychiatrist. You want to coach them in life also. I don't care if one of my athletes goes on and becomes a big college track athlete, or a big, I don't care if one of my college athletes goes on one day and runs in the Olympic time trials or anything like that. Those things would be cool, but I don't care about that. I care if my athletes go on and they're good people. I want them to go on and be good people in society, contributors to a society, people that help other people. That's what I care about. And I feel like we need to, as coaches, we need to coach them in that also. Coach them in life. And we saw Coach Corn become, he was still a basketball coach and he was still teaching the sport, but he evolved into somebody who was also helping them in their lives. And this is something that happens through personal relationships with your athletes. And we got to see those happen as well. I really like this show on the basis of the growth of the coach and the relationships that he formed with his team. I felt that a lot of that was very authentic and very genuine and very true to life. Now, this is also a Disney Plus show, so there's lots of it that's not true to life. Like, one of the plot points in this movie, or in this show, was them trying to win enough games so they can make it to Division 2. They were a Division 3 team. They had to win enough games to make it to Division 2. Let me tell you how this really works. You don't go up a division by winning. You go up a division when more people get enrolled in your school. It's about enrollment. Division 1 has the highest enrollment. Division 2 has less enrollment. Division 3 has less enrollment. Division 4 has less enrollment. It's about school enrollment. So the only way they're going to jump from Division 3 to Division 2 is if they can get more people to go to their school. So this whole process of, we got to win some games so we can make Division 2, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. I mean, it gives the team something to fight for. It raises the stakes, but it would have been better had they said, we need to win the conference. We need to win our conference. We haven't won. If they would have said, we haven't won our conference in 12 years, we need to win our conference. Man, that could have been a stake. That could have been something that people could have gotten behind. Instead, it's, we got to make Division 2. Okay, you're going to go out and recruit more kids to come to your school? It's not how it works. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times people who write this aren't really involved in sports. I don't know. Or maybe they were involved in sports 500 years ago. I don't know. It was a Disney Plus series also, so, very diverse. It checked all the boxes. You had your white players, your black players, your Hispanic players, lesbian players. They were all present here. Every box was checked. Asian players, every box was checked. Check, 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 check. I don't know. And it's fine. It's fine. Representation is very important. Representation is very important, and I will always say that representation in film and in television is extremely important. I just want to be pathetic. I don't want to feel like they're checking boxes. This was the most diverse school in the history of the country. The most diverse basketball team in the history of the country. That's what Coach Korn coached, was the most diverse basketball team in the history of the country. But that's fine. That's fine. It's just Disney Plus checking their boxes. I get it. I really like the show, though. I did. I really like the show. It got to the point where, as we were getting near the end, I was getting even more and more excited about a new episode coming out, because I did feel that even though it wasn't always telling a true story on what coaching its team is like, I felt that it was telling a true story on what coaching is like, and it was very authentic in that manner. So John Stamos did a great job. I'm not really the biggest John Stamos fan either. I'm not sure that he's always somebody that brings it, but I found his performance in this, again, I've already said the word plenty of times, but I found his performance to be very authentic. I thought it was he really fit this role and fit it well. So, Big Shot. The entire first season is now on Disney Plus. I definitely recommend you check it out, especially if you like sports movies or sports shows. This was better than the Mighty Ducks. This was far superior to the new Mighty Ducks show. Far superior to it. So I would check this out. Have you? Are you somebody that's watched Big Shot? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. While you're down there, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I put out a lot of content. Want to make sure that you're up to date with everything that I'm doing. And as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the Geeky Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.